for next year. You got Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff, Rams quarterback. What is the connection? What is like the 3 degrees of separation that connects these quarterbacks?
Okay, Mayfield, Mahomes, and Goff.
They went to similar school, or
baseball? They play baseball?
Davis Webb. The name Davis Webb, draft prospect this year, is the 3 degrees of separation between those 3 guys. And a picture of all 3 of them. It was
Kevin Bacon. Oh, yeah, he's Kevin Bacon.
So let me tell you guys what you need to know about Davis Baker. Texas Tech as a freshman, right? He played with Baker Mayfield. Mayfield beat him out for the starting gig. Mayfield suffered some injuries. So Webb gets a shot. Again, crushes it. I'm talking over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns in the Holiday Bowl style, crushing it. Earns some starts. Mayfield pieces out, transfers to Oklahoma, where he feels that he's going to have a better chance to start. So back in Lubbock, Webb struggled to start 2014. He had a couple of injuries. He had a season-ending injury against TCU. In comes Patrick Mahomes. So that gave and set up Patrick Mahomes' shot here, who we know finished that season with 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 1 million yards, right?
Yes, that was $1 million.
The next season, they have an offseason quarterback competition. Mahomes wins that with Webb as the backup, and, you know, Webb does what's best for him. He decides to peace out, changes schools as he graduates.
Sounds like a deep dive here, Kat.
Yeah.
This is
so
good.
His intention then, he's like, I'm going to go to Colorado, right? I'm going to go to Colorado. Boom. What happens? Jared Goff declares for the NFL draft. So Kyle Brandt, it's the classic surface ski decision. Do you want to go to Colorado or want to go to California?
Kuslash.
Chooses Cal. Impressive senior season, MVP of the Senior Bowl. Now, we talk a lot about Mahomes, right?
Yeah,
Kaiser's joining the show. Mr. Biscuit. Webb has the arm. He has the talent. Chris Sims says he has as live an arm as anyone. I feel like he's the other quarterback, but if somebody takes him, he could be groomed behind the likes of a Carson Palmer or an Alex Smith, that second-round guy, but that could develop. Am I wrong?
You're absolutely right. And he was a stud at the Senior Bowl throughout practices, Kay, and really came onto the scene there where people left the Senior Bowl in Mobile saying, hey, is this guy a late first-round pick? Is this guy better than Jared Goff, who was the first overall pick last year? But he only had 1 year at Cal, so there's like this limited feeling of, all right, well, he lost out to Mahomes, right? Baker Mayfield was always a little better than him when they first started. So it's always this feeling like he was always the other guy, but now he's the guy.
He's the guy, gentlemen.
And I remember, you know, you were mentioning the Holiday Bowl. I think they played Arizona State, like a very good Arizona State team, the Davis Webb, and he came out and he looked like a superstar immediately. No interceptions, like throwing the ball all over the place. Like, who is this kid? He just got the gig. I remember that game well. I haven't thought about that game until now, but he looked like a first-round pick.
It's just crazy that his life is sort of, his journey is intersected with all of those quarterbacks. Another prospect for next year, and we'll see what happens to him on Thursday and Friday.
And this is the type of player that slips a little bit because of how many quarterbacks we have been talking about, how many quarterbacks will go before him. But just like a Dak Prescott or a Russell Wilson, this is the individual that will get a chance, end up beating somebody out because he's been in a situation where he has to fight.
Or sitting behind somebody like Carson Palmer and maybe ends up in a better spot
and
anyway.
Then steps on the field and kind of wows everybody. And then we're going to look back and they're going to, you know, go back to shows like this where we listen to your story and Peter Schrager saying, no, he went out there and he wowed people. He has a beautiful arm. He has great height. And you look at him at the combine, he did perform well, and he did throw the ball well. And I was looking at that, getting lost in the highlights as we were going through this segment. He does have a delivery where he can throw every ball on the field. And there's some quarterbacks that can't do that.
I like him throwing in the rain. That was, and Kate, so
your 37 touchdowns to 12 interceptions at Cal.
He does seem like the kind of guy, we have these conversations a lot about if you have an aging starter, a guy you might bring in to be the heir apparent. Chiefs, Chargers, Steelers, that seems like the kind of guy you'd bring in to be by.